Oh hey, you're here. Brilliant. Welcome to part 1 of 3 Christmas art lessons. Each one's going to be getting a little more Christmassy as we head towards the big day. I'm going to be giving you a few ideas of things that you can make at home while you sip hot chocolate, eat cookies and stare at the Christmas tree. Just don't stare at the Christmas tree for too long because the pine needles can fall out, even on the plastic ones. So today we're going to look at something that's very much a part of Christmas. You see it in movies, on Christmas cards, in cartoons, on Christmas decorations, but it's not something that all of us actually see in real life at Christmas. What could it be? No. Yes. You read it on the thumbnail. Yeah, that is a bit of a giveaway, yeah. It's snow. Now, when I was a boy, way back in the Victorian era, whenever it did actually snow, I would rush outside and I would spend ages gathering together as much snow as I possibly could until finally I had enough snow to make a small snow molehill, and I'd bung a little happy face on it, throw a scarf on it and call it a snowman. So today, let's make our own snow molehills. Snowman. Let's take a look, shall we? Ow. So, when you're drawing a snowman, you have to be really careful. Why? I'll show you why. Now, a snowman is made up of a large circle, a smaller circle, a triangular shape for his carroty nose, and 2 twigs for his arms. Now, if you don't get them in the right place, this can happen. That's right, it's a seagull. Not very Christmassy at all. So what's the right way of drawing one? Well, still using the basic Snowman shapes, let's try it again. By simply repositioning those shapes, I'm sure we can get a pretty good snowman. Let's have a look, shall we? That's better. But there's still something missing. Alright, his clothes. Now, traditionally, back from the Victorian era, snowmen used to wear top hats. They'd have coal lumps for their buttons. Even smaller lumps of coal were used to make his eyes and his smile. But nowadays, we don't have too many top hats lying around the place, or lumps of coal even. So you can dress up your snowman however you like. You can put any type of hat on that you like. You could have cowboy hat, flat cap, flat back cap, a baseball cap, a black cap, a bat, anything you like. But one thing snowmen always have is a scarf, which seems a bit odd that a snowman would want to keep warm. Well, anyway, so that is your basic snowman shape, which is going to lead us to the next thing, where we're going to make something. Now that we know how to draw a snowman, let's make one. One that won't melt, that you can hang inside the house off the Christmas tree or a doorknob, just to make the place look that bit extra Christmassy. So, to make this snowman, you're going to need some cardboard. I've just used some old cereal box, a pipe cleaner, and a little bit of a spoiler. Next week, we're going to be using pipe cleaners to make something really special. So make sure you get some of these pipe cleaners. You're going to need some cotton for the snow. If you're using cotton balls, just make sure you separate them a bit so that it spreads out more. And a pen, maybe a paintbrush to put the glue on. And ooh, you're going to need a bit of old tinsel. So, obviously don't rip it off the tree. Okay, so we're just going to draw on our basic shape. So smaller circle for his head, and the larger circle for his body, and whatever shaped hat that you decided to go with. So I was going to do a top hat, so I think I'll put it on at a slight angle. Like something like that, that'll do. Now if you do make a mistake when you're drawing it on in pencil or pen or whatever you're using to map out this, if it does end up looking like a seagull, then don't worry, because you can just do it again, because we're going to be cutting this out. Right, so now we have our stencil. Now we're going to need to cut that out, which means using scissors. So some of you, if you're under 18, are probably going to need to get a competent adult to help you with this bit. Once you've cut out your snowman, the next thing to do is to check that you've got all your fingers and make sure they're all there from having used the scissors. Then take your cut out snowman, turn him the other way round, and then you're going to draw around your cut out snowman. Because we're going to need two sides. There we are. Now once you've done that, again, make sure you have a competent adult with you. Don't get an incompetent adult, because it could be bloodshed. And especially don't get an incompetent incontinent adult, because that's a whole different kind of mess. So now that we've got our two sides, we're going to take one of the sides and your pipe cleaner and put the pipe cleaner across the inside or the picture side of the card, and then I'm just going to use a bit of tape to secure it. You want it about that high. There we go. So just tape that down. Now we're going to glue the picture sides of the card together. So it's going to be like that. So once you've glued the two sides together, Now I should probably have mentioned this earlier, but it is a bit messy with the glue, so make sure you've got paper down before you start the gluing, otherwise it can make a big mess, and the adult that's with you with the scissors is probably going to get cross. But once you've glued the insides, it might take a little while to dry, so just got to wait for this to dry now. It won't dry. It's dry. So once your snowman is finally dry, it's time to colour in his hat. So I've just used a marker pen to colour both sides of his hat. You don't need to use marker pen, you could use coloured paper or paint. Remember that paint can be messy, so make sure you've got that paper down. Then once you've done that, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put some glue, which should dry a bit quicker on this side because it's rough, and just glue everywhere other than his hat area. And just do one side first, and once that's dry, then we'll turn it over and we'll do the other side. Right, now that the snowman's all covered in cotton, we just got to wait for the glue to dry. It shouldn't take too long this time because it's the rough side of the cardboard and that always dries faster than the picture side. So in the meantime, I've found a bit of cardboard that has a bit of food packaging that's got some orange on there. So I'm going to use this to cut out a carrot shape for the snowman's nose. Now obviously it's scissor time, so make sure you've got that adult with you. So I've cut out a carrot shape, so I'm just going to put a big blob of glue on there. That should do it. And carefully stick on there. And there we are. Apart from those crazy long arms, it's starting to look a lot more snowman-like. Now, we can do the other side. So you've got to think it's the opposite. So turn it around and we're going to have the nose on this side this time. Big blob of glue. There we go. Okay, so there we have our basic snowman. So, but it's missing a scarf. So we're going to use our bit of tinsel or ribbon. I was going to use this tinsel because it's nice and reflective, and if you're hanging it on the tree then the lights can bounce off it a bit. So what you're going to do is very carefully, and maybe get an adult to help you with this bit, is you're going to tie it just like you would a real scarf around the snowman's neck. There we go. and then just there we go. So you can trim off if it's too long, like my one's a bit too long, you can trim that off. So I'll take my scissors and trim it about there. And same the other side. That's more mess that I can clear up later. So there we are, snowman with a scarf. So now we've just got to put in the last few details. And the last few details are the eyes. So using a marker pen, I'm using a Sharpie. Just carefully, gently dab on till you get some eyeballs. And we're going to do some buttons as well. And do the same the other side. Ugh. And there we have a snowman. You're probably thinking, it looks a bit weird with those big long arms. Well, the reason for the big long arms is because we're actually going to fold these to make some fingers. So I think that his arm would probably be, and to the end of his finger would probably be about there. Now, snowman probably has, I think normally when you draw a snowman they have like 3 fingers. Now you have to be very careful when you're making the fingers to get them all the same size, especially the middle one. There we go, there's a snowman hand. So we do the same with the other side. And there we go. So you've got a friendly little snowman there that you can hang from the Christmas tree or door handles, or just prop it up somewhere in your house. Or you could put a little hole through the hat and tie a little bit of string, and that way it can hang much easier. So there you have it, how to make a Christmassy snowman. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it's of use for you. And if you did enjoy that, then join me next week when we'll be making something super special. And like I said earlier, you're going to need pipe cleaners. So other than that, I'm not giving you any more spoilers. But if you enjoyed that, then make sure you subscribed and enjoy the build up to Christmas. I'll see you next time.